How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is TheStarkz, and welcome to a brand new Death Stranding video. Today, I want to focus in on some of the reviews, in particular, one that I'm going to have from The Verge here. I'm just going to list a couple of things in which this reviewer mentioned. But before I do so, I just want to talk about Death Stranding a little bit because as we know, the official Metacritic score is actually 84. I know in my video previously I had said that that number might fluctuate based off of the rest of the outlets that have to score it, but it's at an 84, which is pretty solid if you'd ask me. I know a lot of people are trying to insinuate that because this game is hyped, it deserves a higher number. That opinion makes no sense to me. I don't know how you can measure hype. I think everyone who's saying that, a lot of the content creators who are saying that are frauds, in my opinion, because I think that's a ridiculous opinion to be insinuating upon a game that has an 84%, which is decent. I will never deny that. 84 is great. But I kind of want to talk about Death Stranding and in particular this review that I have here, and how, in a way, Death Stranding seems to be in some way polarizing. And I think it definitely will be once the game actually hits launch in less than a week from today. Now, the review that I have here, it's like I said, from The Verge. It's by a person named Andrew Webster. And he states, or this is at least the headline, that Death Stranding is a long, bizarre journey that's both breathtaking and boring. Which, I mean, listen, I'm a gamer. I have been for many years now. And for a reviewer to say that, listen, this very hyped game this 84% game is bizarre and both breathtaking and boring. It has me skeptical. It does still have me skeptical. And I know that I wouldn't say harsh on this game. I don't think I'm harsh by any means. I think I've been fair, and I think I've always been fair and will stay to consistently be fair. But I think we have to, as gamers and as myself as a content creator who tries to be very transparent when it comes to these kind of things, to really showcase some of the main themes here. And I know a lot of other people have been doing the same thing, but there's been many different criticisms, that being, of course, the baby, also called BB, which is a weird name, but anyways, it's basically the little, toddler or child in Norman Reedus's company, who makes a lot of noise, who's, I guess, some form of the core mechanic. And it's said by many people now, even Brian Altano, one of the IGN dudes, said it's annoying, it's frustrating, it's very, I wouldn't say pointless, but just annoying, because I think it does add to the mechanic. It adds to the gameplay based off of, I don't want to spoil tidbits of the gameplay, but essentially, I guess it does play a more fundamental role in the game once you actually pick up the controller and play the game. Another thing, especially towards the end, that this person spoke about is how staggered as well as long this game is when it comes to especially the first chapters of the game, or first half of the game, when you're delivering packages. I know a lot of people have been making fun of that concept of delivering packages, and again, as an effort to make this very transparent and very real with you, you look at something like Spider-Man, or and even The Last of Us. Now, I know The Last of Us isn't open world by any means, but it is in fact post-apocalyptic. It's a post-apocalyptic game. While linear, it's still post-apocalyptic. And that is the issue with post-apocalyptic games, is I find it very hard to fill up a world, to have an open world game that's post-apocalyptic. And this is going off of the reviews here about people saying it's boring. You're walking from point A to point B to point C to point D, all the way backwards, okay? At times, delivering packages, which might add little pocketed sections of narrative and story, but that doesn't seem like enough for me. Like, granted, the world looks beautiful, the water, the draw distance, the mountain, all the different mountains and rocks, that looks really gorgeous, but if there's no form of fun or depth to it, based off of the lack of content, it's like, why bother making this open world? And that was actually one of the fundamental issues I had with both Horizon Zero Dawn and Days Gone. While they had content in it, they have, I mean, from what I've seen, a lot more content in that game than Death Stranding does. And I didn't really like those games, so that is why I've been very skeptical when it has come to Death Stranding, because I don't want to put my money into a game that I'm not going to 100% enjoy, because I've done that already with many games that I have on my arsenal. And so that was definitely one of them, as well as the mystery, pardon me, of Death Stranding is what this person pointed out in the review, which, by the way, will be in the description below for you to read on your own. He mentioned how once you finish the game, once the credits roll, there is still so much mystery to this game. A lot of answers that have yet to be, or questions that have yet to be answered, which just has me even more concerned. Because listen, games can end with a, one of those little story things. I forget what it's called, but essentially, a cliffhanger. There we go. Cliffhanger. How can I forget? Cliffhanger. Games could end with a cliffhanger. Games could end with a little of mystery to it, like Spider-Man did a little bit, like The Last of Us did a little bit. But by the sounds of it, it seems like this person is really, I guess, kind of bummed out that there wasn't enough context provided to really, to really showcase. Now, and I'm gonna read a couple of this. Okay, I'm gonna read a couple of this. So. This is the ending portion of the review, the last two paragraphs, okay? So, over the course of Death Stranding's lengthy runtime, I spent hours with these people, read over their correspondence, and literally walked across the entirety of America trying to bring them all together. By the end, I can't say that I fully understood exactly what was going on. In fact, as Death Stranding approaches its climax, around the same time I felt I was finally coming to grips with everything, it somehow becomes even more convoluted. But ultimately, that didn't matter much. Yes, the mysteries are are a big part of the draw, and it's disappointing that you won't get all the answers you're looking for. And even some of the ones you do get, that you do get, don't make a lot of sense. And that's not the last paragraph, but that's exactly what I just spent the last 2 minutes explaining. You don't learn much about the game. Like, there's still a lot of answers, questions that have yet to be answered, and that's my worry as a person as a gamer, who really needs to have fun, variety, narrative story. Cool graphics has never been an issue for me. Performance is definitely a big one. That's why I stopped playing Days Gone as well. Performance and, decent story and story plots. Death Stranding seems like it hits a lot of these things, but it kind of falls apart with different things that just don't really align itself. And I feel like the main contributor to why this game has an 84 is because it did something new and different. It looks beautiful. It probably plays well, and performance is good. But everything from story and fun and enjoyment factors even by Hideo Kojima himself, are not up there in par with a lot of these other games. And I'm worried for that. And for those reasons, I think that Death Stranding is definitely going to be polarizing. I definitely think it is a polarizing game. And I'm also curious to know your thoughts, your opinions regarding Death Stranding. Perhaps some of what Andrew Webster had to say in his review, which isn't a long review by any means. You can read it. It's in the description below for you to read on your own. But it's definitely a great review. I read bits and part of it, and I think although I haven't played the game, I feel like I would probably resonate with this review the most, based off of all the other ones I've read, which have stemmed from positive to mixed to one negative, or a couple negative mixed reviews. But other than that, I'm curious to know your thoughts and opinions regarding Death Stranding. Are you going to get it day one? Me and my friend, we kind of established something. I'm probably going to get Star Wars. He's going to get Death Stranding, and then we're going to switch once we're done playing the game. Because honestly, I don't know. That's not finalized, because again, I want to give Death Stranding a chance, but it's hard to, because I'm a guy who likes fun and enjoyment, and this game doesn't seem to offer that. But I'm hoping that opinion can change, and I'm sure it will. But yeah, let me know your comments, thoughts, opinions in the comment section below. And if you're new to my channel, I would appreciate it if you subscribed and liked the video as well. And with that being said, I have been TheStarkz. Peace.